Okay, so I just want to kind of touch base. We just had that meeting 2 days ago, um, and I know like what we discussed was my mind just went blank. Was we discussed the need of working on your consent decree.
Yes.
And one thing you said was that a goal that you would like to work on is staying away from the negative peers.
Right.
I want to make sure that you felt like you were heard in regards to that goal.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, do you feel like there was anything that was missed during the meeting? Did you think that I know there was a lot more providers there other than supports? Do you feel that they listened to you?
Yeah, I think so for the most part.
Okay, that's good. I mean, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to like open up about your concerns, and you discussed with them how this affects you in the long run and how it also affected you getting that consent decree. So I give you a lot of I want to give you a lot of recognition for that.
Thanks.
That was wonderful. So I know the one action step that was based on you completing was when you got frustrated with your peers, instead of you getting physical with them and hitting them and cussing at them and stuff, you said maybe a good thing for you to do is go down to the principal's office.
Yes.
How is that going with you so far?
That's been going really well. The principal, she has like an area with a table in it in there. So, I mean, I can go in and do my work independently or eat my lunch in there. And it just gives me an opportunity to get a little bit of a break and cool down.
Oh, awesome, awesome, and I'm glad that it's working out very well. And I do also want to just I know we talked about this before, but I just want to kind of reiterate, if there's ever a barrier to completing that, and not being able to go to principal's office, or if there's like any concern where it's just not working anymore, let us know, and we can always come together as a team and work on different ideas.
Okay.
And one thing I also definitely want to like acknowledge too is, you brought up a great, you identified a great support for you, which was Emily.
Yeah.
At the last team meeting, we kind of discussed, you thinking about not letting, but having Emily come in as your support.
Yes.
I just kind of wanted to touch base with you on that and see if that's still something you would like to do.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So, and the great thing with that is, with us adding this support, it will also be beneficial for your friend too, because we like to always make sure that they know that it's, they're there to help you, but we're also there to help them too. And I think it'll be a great little thing of building your guys' relationship as well.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to maybe even kind of do like a how we can maybe get her involved. Maybe come up with a plan so that we can start working on that, so that she has enough time to prepare for the next meeting, which is in like 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
Would you like us to meet with her maybe next week? Just like us two, we can either meet at your home. We can always go eat lunch together. Something to where we can just talk with her about the team meetings, what they are involved, what our focus would be on. Kind of just getting her to understand all the ins and outs of the meeting.
Okay.
What do you think would be a good way of getting her meeting with her?
Um, Maybe one day after school, sometimes she gets permission to come home on my bus to my house.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if we could set up a day where she could come home on my bus, we could just meet up after school at my house.
Okay, that sounds great. So what you could do is, you can always figure out a date with her as to what time would be good, and then I will be there for whichever day you choose,
Okay.
and we can always have that meeting with her. Um, and what we can always do is I can always explain the process, and then if you feel comfortable, you can also like maybe talk to her about what we talked about at the last meeting to kind of give
Okay.
her like a idea, and then what And then maybe at that time, maybe we can work on what you would like the next meeting to be about.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And I know, like, we're talking about support and talking about different people part of the team.
Right.
And one thing I did notice is we did have call-in at the last meeting.
Right.
And I didn't want your when we were at the meeting, you kind of shared with everybody you're just not comfortable with him being there, and you weren't sure why he was there. And I can tell at the meeting you just was not very pleased with him being there.
Right.
So I just kind of wanted to touch base with you on that, just to kind of talk with you a little bit as to why mom and dad thought it would be a good idea for them to be there.
Okay.
And why maybe, and this could be something again that we can think about as well, because again, it's your option as to who's there. But one of the reasons why we usually ask for providers, which is the same thing that Mr. Collin is, there's a lot of mandates that they have to do, a lot of different plans like the consent decree and everything that's mandated for them to do that we just don't understand. Mm-hmm. I know when I was involved with probation, I absolutely was annoyed because it just never seemed like I could get my plan done. So with our program, we can work on that. And we kind of include probation officer like Colin, especially with our goal of getting that consent decree done. We include him because he could give us the ideas and the brainstorming different steps that you could possibly work on, like could possibly work for you to get that consent decree done.
Oh, okay.
I hope I said it right.
Yeah.
Kind of case in point, whenever we had that last meeting, we were talking about the consent decree, and he kind of voiced that he agreed with you that one of the biggest things that he said was that always seems to be your barrier was that negative influence. And he did give you the option of possibly being able to help you change different classrooms and stuff, which I know that wasn't an action step we chose, but you said that would have been something that you wouldn't have thought of before.
Right.
So it's just kind of they can give us some different options that they can do that we would never even think of doing. And they can also, if we just don't understand how to get something done and how to get something accomplished, they can explain their process and how we can do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So do we want him to participate in the meetings, or do we want to have him just participate with the facilitator collaborating it?
I mean, I think going forward, I'm okay with him participating in person. I just had a tendency before to kind of get a bad or scared feeling anytime I see him because I think I'm in some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that I kind of understand he's really just there to help me, I think I'd be comfortable having him because I'm starting to see him in a little bit more of a positive light.
Okay.
So I'd be okay with him being there.
And if you ever have any concerns, I still give you so much credit for speaking out during the meeting and saying, you were advocating for yourself by like saying, I'm just not comfortable with him here, and you were talking about, the consent decree, your concerns with it and everything. So I just think you just need to continue to do that. And, and I'll continue to support you with that. And if there's ever a time you're just not comfortable saying it, please come to me and I'll be more than happy to help it, even if it's that I say it for you or, we do it together.
Okay.
Okay.